right. Sorry about that, everybody, but we are right back into the picks and bans. We're waiting on this game to get loaded into, but we are looking through this draft as well, and we can see that the Lulu mid going to be matching that non-traditional mid laner right back with another one, as we're going to see that coming through for Stupid.
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting pick here. Of course, Lulu in the solo lane is definitely not a new concept, and it does have some viability in this mid lane. At the end of the day, you want Lulu for that bit of heal and shielding she's offered. This is more going to be an outside of the laning phase type of champ pick here that's going to support the other strong power picks that we already have, because Hecarim, Camille, Vayne, plenty strong enough as it is. And when you have champs that want to chase you down the way we see from the champs of Cloud9 Amateur, it does help that you can speed yourself and some of your teammates. And of course, the ultimate wild growth is so good. The ability that shrinks people. Now I'm forgetting ability names, but
Polymorph.
Thank you, Gordo. Also going to be really crucial in these fights as well.
Certainly is going to be. And, you know, Beatdown, we were talking before we got on stream today about how Cloud9 did over the weekend. And something we noted was that in both of their series wins over the weekend, they did end up losing that game one and were able to turn it around and go for that.
That's true.
So we're going to see if Cloud9's able to pull it out once again here today. They were able to download their teammates, or their opponents rather, previously, and managed to crawl back in these best of 3 series. And they're going to be looking to do it again today, or they're going to end up going down 0-1 right here on day one.
Yeah, it would definitely not be a good start for them at all. And it's just as you say, Cloud9 Amateur, as Alk Battery said on the weekend during the Challengers Cup, they like to play for content. It's always about how fun it is in that reverse sweep, and that does seem to be how things end up turning out for them. Of course, they're always trying their very best, but it's funny how in a lot of their matches recently, they do lose game one, and then they just absolutely start to turn it up. And we'll see if the download is actually complete here. We'll see if Glacial Esports have giga-brained it with this Lulu mid pick.
Yeah, certainly. And, you know, Glacial not going to be looking to play for content today. Glacial are going to be perfectly happy if they can just take a 2-0 win over a major LCS org. You know, this isn't, of course, their main team, but they're coming through. They're one of the best talent development orgs in North America, and there's a lot of hype coming in for these 5 guys coming into the first Tier 2 tournament of the year. If Glacial Esports is able to just take them down in a quick 2-0 on day one, that's going to be such a big deal for them. It's such a confidence boost for them going farther into this ever so stacked Risen Champions League.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a lot of teams, a lot of good teams here, a lot of stacked lineups overall. So Glacial Esports picking up the win on Cloud9 Amateur would be such a good start, especially because we've seen these players from Cloud9 Am do very well. Like you said, we expect a lot from them, being how much we see Cloud9 do a lot of this development. I think it was you that made the joke before the broadcast, but you can't walk anywhere without running into some Cloud9 players.
Yeah, absolutely. Cloud9, a huge talent development org for the LCS and for Academy. You know, they're all across all the different LCS teams, and this should be their next generation here, but they're going to have to prove it if they want to do that by turning around and winning this series here today. Now, we are going to get loaded on up into the game, but we're going to take a short break before that happens. Do not go anywhere. We're going to be right back with all that Game 2 action. Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of Cloud9 Amateur versus Glacial Esports in this Risen Champions League. My name is Gordo, and I am joined once again by Beatdown Boulevard. And Beatdown, you ready for this level 1?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna try anything this time around either. Not as impactful as a level 1 as Glacial had in game 1. So I think this time everybody's cool with a good old 5-point, and yeah, not even a single attempt for any deep vision overall. And then the big question marks are just going to be around, well, Armored Monad specifically, because again, we talked about how Olaf is usually picked to deter champs like Hecarim from coming out because of how important that early game is. So things are a little different than before, but C9 Amateurs win cons are very similar to what they were in game 1. It's going to be the early game, make plays, please. And now that XU is on Olaf, you literally have no excuses not to be able to do so. Like, the level, as soon as you make a full clear, immediately can make an effort to show up on the map. But the thing to worry about too is going to be that vision control. You got to imagine XU is going to be tracked very well like he was in the first game there from Glacial Esports. Again, they knew where he was at every turn, and that's something he needs to be able to avoid if he's going to be able to have that early game impact. Because if this Hecarim gets going, Gordo, it's not going to be good.
Oh, it will not be. But Armored Monad, he's not dissuaded from this aggression at all, having seen this Olaf come through on XU, because Armored Monad coming into this game with the Ignite Smite rather than the more traditional Ghost Smite.
Yeah, nowadays it is quite... it's usually common, but it's more common when they take Phase Rush. So seeing the Conqueror is very interesting to me, because with Phase Rush, you take Nimbus Cloak and Celerity, so Ignite gives you that extra move speed, but it's not even about the move speed anymore. Armored Monad, he just wants blood. He just wants to kill Gordo, and we're going to see if he's going to get that opportunity as Speedo is trading aggressively in the top side. This exact same matchup didn't go so well for him in game 1, so you got to imagine he is looking for that salty run back here in game 2.
He certainly is, but you know, in the level 1 last game, he was able to get an early advantage as well. He was able to abuse this counter matchup versus the Camille early on, but just some plays going not in his team's favor, but also not his fault in particular. So he's hoping to run it back with this counter matchup and gonna hope to take it to Nagri Disciple this game, maybe get a little bit more time alone in the early game and build a more substantial lead for himself. Maybe even get some ganks from his Hecarim in order to try to snowball himself ahead. Or from his Olaf, rather.
Yeah, well, there aren't going to be too many opportunities, really, for Armored Monad. If he's going to go for a gank pre-6, it does have to be with the knowledge that XU is nowhere near him, because that's going to be the big thing. But now, this time around, we are seeing C9M with this deep vision, and they know that the Gromp is already gone, and that this Hecarim is on the other end of the map at the moment. So he's going to take the Scuttle. Might have an opportunity for a play bot side, but overall, it's looking like there isn't too much for him to do.
Ooh, a big trade from Tempos and Wixie down in that bot lane, getting the pulverized combo off and being able to land a Void Seeker to follow up a huge chunk down on the road back, going to force him back a little bit. Now XU showing up mid lane pretty early just to get his team prio, just going to throw some axes through those caster minions and make sure that Captain Shrimps has the opportunity to push in this wave.
Yeah, and it's looking like XU isn't going to look for anything aggressive here, trying to fight the top Scuttle. He is actually just going to go for the recall, and that gives a good opportunity for Armored Monad to be able to take the Gromp, but it looks like Speedo is checking at the moment, so he might be able to stop him.
Maybe, or he might find that his camps are already gone, but it does look like Speedo is going to be coming down on the top side, going to probably smell that something's up, going to try to steal that away, but no, it's going to get smited away by Armored Monad. But here comes XU with the backup here. We're going to start looking down in the bot lane, as we're going to see single-digit win rate get engaged onto, but now here comes Nagri Disciple into the top lane. It's a 3v3 at level 4 up here. Armored Monad getting chunked down incredibly low, going to get picked up for first blood over by the side of XU. Now it's going to be traded back onto immediately, though, as we're going to see Speedo get taken down, but XU just has all these axes. He can keep throwing them over and over again. He doesn't quite pick up Nagri Disciples. He runs too far away. He's going to leave that Captain Shrimps, and that is a mistake, as Captain Shrimps is going to get turned around onto by Nagri Disciple. Was XU able to pick up another kill for himself on the back side of that, but that is still going to be 2 kills over to the side of Nagri Disciple. And Speedo, you've been destroyed yet again, my man, by this Camille. Once again, she gets so much early gold off of an early fight in the top jungle, and now she's going to be ahead of the Jax yet again.
Yeah, but I'll tell you the difference. Speedo still made a very important play there. That Counter-Strike landing was crucial to XU picking up those 2 kills. So this still ends up working out quite well here overall.
Rollback is just going to get soloed out here. Tempos is actually going to pick him up with the Ignite, going to get the stun down from his fully stacked E, was able to get just a good opening there, and Rollback going to die with both summoners still up. Every summoner in the bot lane up for the side of Glacial Esports, but a kill picked up against them nonetheless.
That's going to make it easy for XU to pick up this first dragon, and Armored Modad, of course, understands his role as Hecarim is not early dragons in any way, shape, or form, so he's going to just continue farming and getting ever so closer to that level 6 mark, and that's where you're going to see Modad make the moves. That's where he's going to, once the Onslaught of Shadows is available, that is when this Hecarim really starts to shine. You already see the Phage purses come through as well, so there is that little bit of early game power. And his enemy jungler in XU has picked up 2 kills as well. So he's gonna start feeling that pressure to make something happen soon.
Yeah, now this is where we get into some conflict between last game and this game, because it can't be both the Olaf and the Camille carrying again. They aren't on the same team anymore. So only one is going to be able to snowball this lead and carry their team to victory. We are going to end up with the game being pretty close here, as we are going to see some major power points coming through for both teams as 2 early kills picked up by 2 different members in 2 different roles.
You can't imagine a whole lot of action is going to come through just yet, although there's that big wave stacking under the tower. That actually does tell me that they want to make a play happen here. You see Stupid moving in as well. They're going in for this dive, but look, XU's here.
For the counterplay, he pops the Ragnarok, and he's just going to be throwing axes on through, but he's outnumbered by the other teammates. But that's a huge equalizer coming through from Captain Shrimps, landing onto all 3
the damage!
Going to come through, going to try to pick them up, but he just doesn't have enough, as XU is going to pick up his 3rd kill of the game, but single-digit win rate has roamed up. He's going to try to make it happen up here. The Hextech Ultimatum comes through and shuts down the Olaf. Now Nuggery Disciple going to pick up a double kill, going to get another one for himself, and now Captain Shrimp just getting chased out onto. Can Nuggery Disciple pick up his 5th kill of the game? No, it gets stolen away by the Leona, but it is still going to be a 3-for-1 trade when it all is said and done.
Okay, that is very bad. Things go really well when XU manages to end up matching the dive there from Modad by moving up to the top side. After you pick up that kill, you walk away, because listen, Olaf is as only good as that Ragnarok cooldown. If I'm being honest with you, Gordo, after that Ragnarok is down, he's not as good. They even had that ward on the chicken camps, which should have spot out single digits. So you know the Leona is on your way. If that ultimate's not available, you walk away. That's absolutely Cloud9 am getting a little too greedy there, and you end up giving more gold to Nuggery's Disciple. And we talked about it, the first few kills weren't as big a deal. Now this Camille is 4-0-1 at 8 minutes. Now I'm a little scared. I'm gonna be real.
I don't understand. Beatdown, I thought you got the first 2 kills onto Olaf, and then he just slammed the whole game and never died. But that clearly doesn't seem to be the case, as he's going to end up getting turned around on. He's going to get shutdown gold given over to Nuggery Disciple, on top of the fact that he's already 4-0. Nuggery Disciple is huge in this game. He has a 1,400 gold lead.
Okay, to be fair, the part that nobody really gets into the specifics about with that kind of interaction where Olaf getting first early kills usually means GG, well played. You also have to make the correct decisions as well, Gordo, and that's not what happened here.
Oh, a huge condemn coming out of the road back, going to stop and engage from Tempos there. That almost certainly would have resulted in the death of his support.
You know what, though? But we're in a similar situation in before here. It's not all doom and gloom here. For the side of C9 Amp, Wixie again has been spending a lot of time bot side. Not only is he about to pick up 5 turret plates, he has a 30 CS lead over the road back. We're talking 1,400 gold difference, and once again, with how well he has been farming, now on a pick like Kaisa that can follow up teammates a lot better with that killer instinct, you got to imagine he is going to have a much bigger influence on these team fights than he did in game 1.
Yeah, 2K gold lead for the Kaisa almost exclusively in the 2v2.
First
That is
turret gold.
insane for Wixie. The first turret gold ends up making up so much more gold for himself. He picks up 600 more, and that's going to take him up to that 2K lead. He's going to finish his mythic item already, and he's going to be coming back to lane feeling very powerful. Wixie now on a champion that he feels super comfortable on, super ahead, and Cloud9 Amateur is going to look to have him carry the game. Meanwhile, Speedo, though, finding himself ganked again. There's 4 people in this top lane. They're going to come through with the onslaught of shadows. He's got the backup of the jungle, but it probably won't be enough here as another kill gets picked up for the Camille, and it's going to be another double kill for him. Excellent managing of the turret aggro there for the side of Glacial, losing only Armored Maudad, but that's certainly worth it if you're going to get a 2-for-1 and you're going to get Nogri Disciple even farther ahead.
Yeah, that is actually very well played there from the side of Glacial Esports. Like you said, they only lose Armored Maudad in the process, and that was inevitable with everything going on under the tower. But to be able to pick up 2 kills for yourself is absolutely fantastic here for Glacial, and now they get to walk away with it. Armored Maudad is back on alive as well for this dragon that's coming through, and there's only a little bit of vision for them to actually clear up on the bottom side. So as much as they might want to dive this Lulu top side, I really feel like C9M have to focus on these early dragons, because when you're playing Olaf, your relevancy can end up falling off just because of how early game heavy this champion can be. So giving up these early drakes, especially to a jungler like Hecarim, is not something that should be happening.
Certainly the case. And now we are going to see the Gore Drinker has come through for XU. XU still feeling pretty strong, even though he's been taken down twice. He was able to pick up 3 kills for himself, and he is still going to be looking to be a major difference maker here on this Olaf. But now we can see Cloud9 Amateur have a lot of members up in this top lane. They're going to force single-digit win rate back, and now it looks like it's going to be Stupa getting engaged on. He's going to excellently flash away from the Headbutt Pulverize combo, going to be able to stay alive. But now Wixie, once again, is going to have some alone time with this top lane turret.
Yeah, which is nice, and I like that rotation topside. Again, it's all about giving gold to your top laner, or your ADC in Wixie, who's going to get very strong. But again, we need to see that amount to something this time around. And unfortunately, because of all that time spent bot lane, it is going to be a turret loss bot side, a dragon gained for Glacial Esports, and that's a tough call to make, Gordo. I'm going to be real. That's something they might regret come later on, especially with it being the the Infernal Soul, excuse me. So that extra damage would look very nice on Glacial Esports composition if they ended up picking it.
Certainly the case, and just throw salt in the wound there that Peril does end up getting the second charge off, and we can see that Nuggery Disciple once again finding himself incredibly ahead in this matchup. He is so powerful on this 6-0, only 12 minutes into the game, trying to break his teammates' record for how ahead you can be at this point.
Yeah, well, currently he's 3,000 gold ahead, and I think at 12 minutes he's already beaten his teammates' record in Armored Maudad, because I don't think his lead was 6-0 early on into the game, especially with Speedo once again not having the greatest of games on this Jax. More turrets seeming to be lost here for Glacial. So C9M at least are picking up some gold in that department, but the problem is going to be Nuggery. He's too far ahead right now, and at the very least someone needs to pick up that shutdown, because the side lane threat that Nuggery's Disciple was last game is going to ring true again this game, and that is something that C9M have to be wary of.
But you know, Nuggery Disciple, he barely even gets to feel good about that huge gold lead, because it's pretty much been matched by the side of Wixie. The score lines aren't going to show it, but he's been fed almost 2 entire full plate turrets at this point.
Yeah.
He is so incredibly powerful. He's got the 30 CS lead on top of it, and he's got more gold overall than the Camille does.
That is true, but again, now I know Wixie has been just AFK farming, not taking part in many of his engages for this exact reason. Oh, look, damage!
So much damage coming through onto Speedo. That's more than a Cho'Gath ultimate at this point. And now another one just going to go through on top of the Solar Flare. Gonna pick him up easily with the assistance of his support. That is disgusting.
Yeah, that's Camille, baby. True damage on her Q is not to be messed with at all. And we saw exactly why. And that is just going to be, there it is. I think it's too late for this Camille. I think it's too late for Speedo to be able to match Nuggery in the side lane. It's just, we're way past that point.
That's
you
pretty
got to
much never
imagine.
gonna happen.
Yeah, we're at this point where she's gonna get Ravenous Hydra. Speedo hasn't even built his first item yet, so this is just a detrimental scenario for Cloud9 AM as a whole, because now, when we're seeing Nuguri split push, you need to make sure you're on him.
A big opportunity to engage here taken by the side of Glacial. They're just going to start melting through the side of XU right away. And now here comes Nuguri Disciple. He's so powerful, and they're going to knock Tempos back into the team. They're going to pick him up for a shutdown on the Alistair.
Oh, no.
He's found himself 2-0 at this point in the game. Another shutdown goes to the Camille. She's just stacking him up at this point. And Nuguri Disciple, trained true to his namesake, just going to keep going aggressively here onto XU. Going to try to pick him up. Might be too aggressive, but nah, he just melts right through him. He knows that Captain Shrimps and Wixie can't scare him away. He's going to go 9-0. He's going to pick up another kill, and he's just going to back away while his teammates take the mid lane turret.
Yeah, and that's it. He's 5,000 gold ahead. The majority of this gold lead, actually the entirety of this gold lead, is on the back of Nuguri, because of course Wixie is also very far ahead compared to the road pack. But again, it doesn't matter, because none of that damage is really coming through in these fights. And with how strong Nuguri is, he's just blowing people up on this Camille right now. And there it is, that like I said, can't be matched in the side lane anymore. It's going to take many people to take him down, but more often than not, single digit on this Leona is actually nearby, and that makes it very difficult.
Yeah, by the way, for those keeping track at home, the gold between Nuguri Disciple and Wixie, not even close anymore. Nuguri Disciple has left him in the dust with those last couple of shutdowns and kills that he's picked up. And even if it was close, the champion difference is really what matters here. Just because they have the same amount of gold doesn't mean that the 1v1 is going to be close between a Camille and a Kaisa. And it certainly won't be close now, as Nuguri Disciple would just completely demolish Wixie if he ever found himself close to him.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's rough. Speedo on this Jax isn't able to do a whole lot. It's just so far behind of everybody else at the moment. It's just such a little amount of money. I don't think he could even get a loan at a bank here. And he's just trying to farm what little bit he can. Hasn't even broken 100 CS yet. Is trying to go for that bot wave, thinking, please, I need gold. Please.
No, really feeling that poor credit score over on the side of Speedo. And Tempo's now going to be going for another engage here.
No.
It's going to end up botched. And now it's going to be Nuguri Disciple into the back line. Wixie's already been taken down, so there's not going to be an opportunity. Armored Maudad has been taken down on the backside, but Nuguri Disciple is still alive here. He's going to go for a huge engage here. 1v3 onto the rest of him, but he might get taken down here. No, he just gets shut down. It's going to be a double kill, a triple kill to the side of Nuguri Disciple. He is unstoppable here. He dropped below 200 HP for a second, and there was a glimmer of hope in Cloud9's eyes, but then he just chops him down with his sword legs and takes it away.
Yeah, that's going to be the second dragon in favor of Glacial. A whole lot more turret gold in their pocket as well. And I don't want to say the game is over, Gordo, but I am really worried at C9's chances here. I don't know if any amount of downloading would be able to overcome the top gap that is Nuguri Disciple at the moment here. And if it is, they better make sure they have some good internet, because they're going to need to download it faster.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm not going to say it's over yet either, but I am going to say I've never seen a 12-0 Camille lose a game.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I haven't either. And look, there's a caster in the AM scene, Cubby. He has said before that it's not over till the fat lady sings, but let me tell you, she's taking a deep breath right now.
That is certainly the case, Beatdown. And we're going to see they still have access to the Rift Herald over on the side of Glacial. They were able to pick up the second one. You forget that it's still not even 20 minutes yet.
I do. You're right.
It's so early into this game for them to be so far ahead. So they could possibly use the Rift Herald here to try to break open the base.
Yeah, which is always feels good when you're playing solo queue to use a second Rift Herald to take the inhibitor. And now they're going to take Speedo's life.
He's just going in onto Speedo again.
Yeah, he's done.
You don't have a chance, man. Nuguri Disciple going to keep going legendary. Speedo going to drop down to 0-6. He's familiar with that scoreline in this series. And just going to continue to be complete dominance from the side of Glacial.
Yeah, and just continued irrelevance from Speedo on this Jax. It's really just too late. He's basically a stun bot at this point. But he doesn't have the HP to even live long enough to stun. They
Gonna
might get
find
him.
himself a little bit caught out here. He doesn't have his massively fed Camille here to back him up, so it is going to be the equalizer coming through. It's going to be a flash from Captain Shrimps, but they can't even get that. Even in the 4v4, even with their massive gold lead sectioned off to a different part of the map, they still can't find the engage they need against Glacial Esports. They're just kiting it out too well. They can't get the opportunities they need, so that's going to be a flash and ultimate blown from Captain Shrimps for virtually nothing.
That's right. All you really do is get both sums out of this vein, but you're not going to get many opportunities like that ever again with how strong Glacial Esports is right now. Still holding on to that second Rift Herald, and as I say, it is going to be dropped in the top side. They want to take this top tier 2, and they're pretty happy taking this fight here right now because all 5 members are on this side of the map, and Speedo's TP isn't quite up yet.
All right, so at least Cloud9 Amateur can win a team fight against the Rift Herald. 4 versus 1, they take out that big boy. But now it's going to be the Baron that is up, and it's going to be Glacial trying to start it up, but they find their engage opportunity. It's going to be a flash in from the side of Nuggery. Disciple Tempos is in the back line on his own. He's just going to get taken down, as is Wixie. He gets soloed out almost instantly, and Armored Maudad's going to end up picking the third kill up as well. It's a 3-for-0 team fight in the favor of Glacial, and now they have free reign over the Baron buff.
And I mean, realistically, it wasn't going to be too hard for them to take it anyway, but now they get even more gold in their pockets on top of it. Speedo just got his teleport available, so that was a 4v5 to begin with. Nuggery, of course, very easily able to just pressure this mid inhibitor turret, and it just feels like there's no leg for C9 Amateur to stand on right now. They can't find any fight that they want, and even when they do, it doesn't work out the way they want it to.
Absolutely not, and there is not a lot of room for error in this tournament beatdown. You know, this tournament is going to be a Swiss-style bracket, and it's only going to be the very best records out of these 32 teams that are going to make it to our 6-team playoffs. Starting it off 0-1 for the side of Cloud9 Academy is going to be a heartbreaker here, but it looks like they're not going to have a great choice. Meanwhile, though, Glacial, it's got to be feeling great about themselves being able to start it off likely 1-0.
Absolutely. You got to imagine, though, celebrations haven't begun yet, but 7k gold lead, they might be happening pretty soon, as now we have a little bit of a I want to say a death brush, but they're just moving away. Yeah, no, they are trying to set up a brush here, and if anybody goes by, they are going to get deleted.
It certainly will be a death brush, but I'm not even confident for who at this point, because if members of Glacial come on in here and start off this fight, I'm really worried about any of them going in the side of Cloud9 here. They really need a pick off on the Nuggery Disciple at minimum here. They need to pick up that huge 700 gold shutdown, but here it goes. It's going to be an engage on an Armored Maudad. It's going to be the ultimate from Lulu coming through, though, making him ever so tanky and keeping him alive a little bit longer, but he does end up going down. Now it's the road back, trying to solo out this fight, and he's doing so. He's kiting it out, but he gets taken down eventually. But now the Camille has arrived, and she's just tearing her way through the side of Cloud9. There's been already 3 taken down, and now Captain Shrimps, he's overheated, and he's left alone. He's going to get taken down again. 16-0 for Nuggery Disciple. Keep adding those points up to your scorecards, ladies and gentlemen, as now Nuggery Disciple, with the Baron buff, with single-digit win rate backing him up, they're going to move on into the base of Cloud9, and they're going to take the first inhibitors of this game.
And they could look to take a little bit more here, Gordo, with the Baron buff still in tow, with that mid wave on its way. They might want to take this, but it's looking like they want to take this nice and slow and just farm, not farm, excuse me, but just take as many turrets as they can, pick up that third Drake, and just slowly and methodically pick C9 Amateur apart. They don't want to give away their Baron buff. They don't want to give away any gold shutdowns. They're doing this right. They're doing it by the book, Gordo, as they are going to grab this dragon. XU has to play for the steal.
Stupid finding himself potentially caught up here, but going to once again use the wild.
Goodbye.
It's just going to be an easy turnaround on his Speedo. He does nothing at this point in the game. But now Nuggery Disciple maybe up a little bit too far. He's going to get away. He's going to have the Lulu shield to try to help keep him alive. And now it's just the rest of his team tearing on through the side of Cloud9. The road back going to finish off Tempos. And now Nuggery Disciple leads the charge back into the 3. He might get shut down here. He does. A huge amount of gold goes over to Wixie, but Wixie gets shut down right away as well. And now it looks like it's just going to be an ace for the side of Glacial. They have 4 members left alive. They they still have access to the Baron. Nah, the Baron buff just timed out, or is about to time out. But this is going to be the game. We can see that Cloud9 is not going to be able to withstand this without any members alive, and Speedo is barely even a member himself. So the 4 members of Glacial just going to start taking out these Nexus turrets. They're going to take out the game, and they're going to go up 1-0 in the Risen Championship Series.
And a convincing game 1 from Glacial Esports, and an even more convincing game 2 from them is going to show that they are here to play at this first Proving Grounds tournament here, Gordo, as they will happily demolish the Nexus and give themselves a very quick win.
I don't even know what to say. This is certainly going to be considered an upset, and oh my goodness, it wasn't even close in that game too. As Glacial were just able to run on through them. A massive mistake picking that Jax into the Camille for a second time.
God.
They beat you the first time, and they're going to beat you even harder the second time. We were talking about downloads, but download complete for the side of Nagari Disciple.
And I feel like Glacial Esports as a whole were the ones who had it out for Cloud9 Amateur from game 1 all the way till the end here. They played the early to mid game so very well because the story was the same, even though the drafts were slightly different. Cloud9 Amateur needed to play for that early game, give themselves some of these early advantages. Game 1, great vision control from Glacial Esports, always having an eye on XU, knowing where he is at all times to make ganking borderline impossible. Game 2, you just have Nogari styling on the rest of Cloud9 Amateur, picking up so many kills in the early game, and Camille is just one of those champs. You let her go 4-0 at 8 minutes. I didn't want to say GG then, but I think I can fairly say GG now.
Yeah, absolutely. And exponentially increasing that 4-0 in this game, as he's going to end up with 16 kills. Could have easily had 0 deaths, but as you said, was going for the style game at this point. You know, we said earlier that Glacial wasn't the team that was going to look for content here, but they certainly made some in this game too. As a Nagari Disciple just running through the members of Cloud9. They are going to start off this tournament 1-0. They're going to take Cloud9 down to 0-1, and they're going to be looking at pretty good coming in for the next few days of tournament play.
That's right. And I think now the only thing to look forward, to really think about going forward, especially for Cloud9 Amateur, is what's going to be next for them as they continue on throughout this tournament. I think it is definitely a back to the drawing board moment where they are going to have to look back, try and figure out where exactly things went wrong. Maybe it was the draft. Maybe it was on the Rift. Honestly, probably a bit of both. And I'm hopeful that they're going to be able to clean things up because, again, even though this is a big dub for Glacial Esports, it is the first game, and there is plenty of time for Cloud9 Amateur to get themselves together.
For sure, and definitely going to be some breathing room for the side of Cloud9 now, as they are in the quote-unquote lower bracket. They're going to play against other 0-1 teams in the next coming days, and vice versa. Glacial going to be moving up into the quote-unquote upper bracket. They're going to be playing against other 1-0 teams, and they're going to start fighting some more of the big boys.
That they are. So then maybe with the Swiss bracket giving Cloud9 Amateur the chance to face another team that has lost, maybe that can also really help play into their advantage as they go into their next game day. But like you said, the top six playoffs is the thing they have to keep an eye out for, and playing like this is not going to get you there.
Absolutely not. Well, Beatdown, I know that this has been a great first day of the Risen Champions League for me. I know this has been a great game series for everybody to watch at home, and I am really excited for what the rest of this tournament is going to bring. But that is going to do it for our broadcast tonight. We're going to have to take pretty much a break for the entire night as there's no more games left to play. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and have a great night.